look at the stories, the comments, the reports from other people going back many, many years. Even what TBC Kawhi says, albeit he's a reprobate himself, even what Tim Worth has said, who unfortunately, Tim, isn't blessed with the ability to communicate a lot of what he says with the best of methods. A lot of what they say is absolutely true. Even Chris Roseborough, who I've got very little time for because of his Lutheran doctrinal stance. However, have a look at what they say.
Has accused Jacob of all sorts of false things, has accused myself of all sorts of false things, and many other people. Now again, when you're dealing with an individual who is this hypocritical and this deranged, it makes you not want to listen to anything that they say. However, everything he has said is not necessarily without merit.
And this is Tim Worth again from Simply Agape Project. As I was heading out the door today to do the afternoon drive show with my wife Donna, she goes with me. She likes music. She's in the last stages of Alzheimer's. Cognitive is getting a little worse. She's still hanging in there, which is good. And wanted to make a short video because Linda McIntyre, and I hate mentioning her name because this girl thrives on attention. Bad, good, she doesn't care. She just wants to be the center of attention. She needs a lot of prayer. I think something's not right mentally and for sure not right spiritually. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. She's nutty. And she cyberstalks me, and she cyberstalks my family across the internet, which is really weird. And the proper people have been advised. And just to give you a little advice, when people dox you and put your address out there and all those kind of things, sad to say, there's very little you can do. And I would guess, I'm not sure, that John Haller probably may have advised her that doxing cases don't go anywhere. They're hard to prove. I verified that with an attorney and a couple other people as well who have been through these sorts of things. But I wanted to address it. I've addressed it before, made some notes on it. I'm going to play the video that they put out because basically what it was, it's weird because she denies doing it, but she, at the same time this site was created, she sent this to me, which I can't read minds, so I don't know why she would do that. She's very passive aggressive. She's been using TBC Kawhi's profile since 2019 on and off, just a lot of weird stuff. I don't want to get off too much off, but this videotape that was put out there on No GoFundMe, again, is to try to drive down the GoFundMe thing. I'm gonna just show it's just inaccurate. It's just lying. So for Linda, all the people associated with this, I'm sure it got Moriel's blessing, and the people that would go out and lie, slander. This stuff is insane, folks. I mean, I get it. We've been stuck in our apartments and in houses for a year, but I don't get it. So anyway, this video is basically the same email blast that somebody named Edward Teach. I'm sure they were like riffing off of Chris's Fighting for the Faith Christian Pirate Radio in some immature way. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to go down piece by piece and give you insight into it. I don't mind explaining this stuff. I really don't. The first bit that they're going to show, they were actual records. They were my records. This is true. Two sides to every story, and maybe Howard has looked at these cases. Maybe he has not. The bad check that they're going to show was in 1998. Okay, I did that. A couple of the things that they put in there that is going to be shown, and they show the same stuff over and over again, like it's more stuff, and it's really not. The one criminal case was the bad check. I moved out of town to record in California for a couple of years. I closed an account before the check had cleared. And I came back to Ohio, found out there was a bad check. They had gotten judgment against me. Yes, it was bad because I'd closed the account too soon. And I made the check good and paid the guy off in person and went up and apologized to him. I believe it was a check for $300. One bad check. The stop sign thing, yes, I did run a stop sign. It was actually behind some trees, but hey, stopped it, paid the fine. I mean, does that make me a con artist? They mentioned forcible entry and detainer, and that case was closed because that was not me. The school tax levy thing was not legit because I wasn't even in Ohio at the time. They put liens against me, but I was actually working in California at the time. They used ad hominem, claiming I was taking care of a dying wife, my wife Donna, who is in the later stages of Alzheimer's. I'd appreciate prayer for her. Cognitive is not good, but you know we get on okay, and I take good care of her. I mean, I could line up people that I take down everywhere with me. So I don't get what they're trying to pull on this. They said that Donna, that I claimed I was asking for money to bury her and she's not dead. That's correct. So right now, at this point in time, I'm going to show you the actual GoFundMe updates. I don't say she's dying. Donna had, in September this year, she collapsed in Walmart when we were walking around Walmart, and the hospital's across the street. So they found out she had a couple blood clots in her lungs, one in each lung, which scared me. I thought we were going to lose her that night. Went to another hospital, Scion Hospital in Beaver Creek. They found out after doing an ultrasound that the blood clot was in her leg. It broke off into each lung. I stayed there with her the whole time. She's lucky to still be with us. But the reason for wanting to collect for final funds is because the blood clot thing and her being in the late stages of Alzheimer's. If something should happen, I'm not prepared to bury her properly. And because, again, I don't mean to say poor pitiful me. I get by. I'm on Social Security, early retirement, and Donna's SSI, and that's it. I am unable to work. I'm going to say this again. I've said it many times, because the daycare center that Donna went to from 8 to 2, that closed after COVID. So I have Donna 24/7, and hey, I've made a promise to her and to God, till death do we part. So I'm going to keep that promise. I'm unable to work. I can't work. I have Donna with me. There's a lot of jobs out there. I'd love to pull an extra couple $100 a week. I really would. I'm unable to do that because I have to take care of Donna, and Donna needs a lot of care. My house is pretty well childproof because I have a granddaughter as well. But she will get into stuff if I don't keep an eye on her, or if I don't know where she is. That's why I make short tapes too. And then they go on to cyber flirting. And this first clip I'm going to show you, this is my daughter Brittany, for crying out loud, with her husband Brady. This is the Dunlaps. This is my married daughter. Linda went on to say, well, I knew this was your daughter because I called her out on that. And she didn't know it was my daughter because she said she had read my daughter's wedding announcement. Well, my second daughter got married, Bethany, not too long ago. So Linda's lying. She didn't know this was my daughter when she posted this. That's just a blatant lie. Brittany's been married for over a couple of years now. And Brittany's a dental hygienist, so if you look at the tweet, I said the pearly whites, because I drink a lot of tea, and my teeth tend to stain. I was asking Brittany, since she's a dental hygienist, I'd asked her earlier the day on the phone on, what she does to keep her teeth white and all that stuff, and he's just claiming how beautiful she is. So that's my kid, for crying out loud. What kind of perv would put up something like that about a guy's daughter? That's just disgusting. A couple of these things that I put on, this is Twitter, and Linda stalks my Twitter account, and she's made it known that she stalks my Twitter account and my family. And Linda, you better knock it off. I mean, you're past that time of knocking it off. And I don't like giving you the attention because I know you look at that as a badge of honor. but I've warned you before about stalking my family. You've went too far this time. There's going to be consequences. And a couple of these people, Patricia Heaton, I met years ago, back in the day. I made a nice comment to her. I liked her on Everybody Loves Raymond. No, we're not BFFs. We don't talk on the phone. We're not best buddies. I saw her on Twitter. I just thought I'd say something nice. The Samantha Brown thing. Samantha Brown had a great travel show on, and she's just now making a comeback after coronavirus. Now, we met Samantha Brown. Anybody on my Facebook pages know we take a lot of cruises. Well, we did a Make-A-Wish. I'm going to show some pictures from that. A Make-A-Wish concert for a fundraiser. Michael Jordan was there, which was cool. I got kind of close to him. I just said hi. That was it. We didn't have any long conversation. I did get a picture of him, which was cool. And I'll show you a picture of me playing. Played with an Irish band. I played cajon. So I'll show a picture of that. It was for Make-A-Wish. I was just saying something nice to Samantha because I enjoy her show. I mean, look at these things where they say I'm flirting. There's a lady on Fox News, Dagan McDowell, and she's kind of feisty. I called her a feisty redhead. I like how she kind of punches back. I don't watch Fox News or any news a lot right now anyway. You know, if that offended somebody, I apologize. Maybe that wasn't a great thing to say to a lady. I didn't mean anything by it. I love my wife. I've never been unfaithful to my wife. And I can say that looking you straight in the eye. I love Donna. So, and I put gotta love a feisty redhead. That's because she's a feisty redhead. If you take offense to that, I mean, take a chill pill. Now for Linda's deflections and lies, I'm going to post some screenshots. She made a comment on the video that she made that she had been banned from the video. I'll show that right now. She wasn't banned from the video. If she was banned from the video, how is it that she can comment on the video? Linda needs help. She's seriously troubled. And again, she is from John Haller's church. She's their social media person. That's John Haller's church in Columbus, Ohio. And people have asked me, well, why don't you get a hold of Haller's pastor? Haller runs that church as far as I know. I don't feel that he's the authority under anyone. And he's not going to listen to anything I said. The very last conversation that he had, I was on the phone with Richard and Cindy Hartline, and they can verify this. You can ask them. And it was a talk about Joe Schimmel, because I'd posted that Joe Schimmel was on God TV, and he was. Joe Schimmel was on God TV, and I kind of called him out on that. And you could hear John screaming through Cindy Hartline's phone in the background saying, he's lying. He's lying. Well, I proved John wrong, which made him even more angry. So he's got a bone to pick with me, and I really don't care. And so there's no point in really calling Fellowship Bible Church. They have a stalker, a cyber stalker, who's an internet troll who runs their social media platform. They're aware of it, and they don't care. So now they doxed my address. They didn't in the Edward Teach email. They said my exact address, including my apartment number. Well, I feel sorry for anyone coming to my apartment looking for trouble, because they're not going to hurt me or my wife. I guarantee you that. God protects us. And just put it like this. They're not going to hurt us. But I don't like it that they cyberstalk my children, my daughters. Who does that? What business is it theirs? I'm not friends with Linda McIntyre.
How can I learn to stop blaming others for my problems? We're going to answer that question. You can also discover more on gotquestions.org. For many people, blame is a favorite game when something goes wrong. Living as broken people in a broken world, we can easily find someone or something to blame when we are hurt. Sometimes it is true that the fault is someone else's alone, but if we habitually blame others for our problems instead of taking responsibility for ourselves, blame can become a way of life. The following are some steps we can take to stop blaming others for everything that goes wrong. Number 1, fully acknowledge the damage that was done. Fully recognizing the hurt and injustice we experienced prepares our hearts to forgive and move on. Number 2, recognize the pride that lurks behind the blame game. Prideful hearts don't want to admit wrong. It's easy to see where someone else is wrong, but it's not so enjoyable to admit our own fault. Did I contribute to this problem in any way? When we recognize pride, we should confess it as sin and humble ourselves before God and before the other person. Number 3, lower lofty expectations. We cause ourselves much grief when we carry too high expectations for ourselves and others. Often those expectations are never communicated, but they are at the root of our bitterness and reflexive blaming of others. We think, they should have done this, or they should not have done that. Number 4, surrender rights to God. Human beings are rights fighters. Common perceptions are the right to be treated fairly, the right to never be offended, and the right to be respected, loved, or included. God did not give us those rights. We conscripted them for ourselves. Blaming others for our problems often arises from a perceived rights violation. If we find ourselves blaming others a lot, it may help to make a list of personal rights we feel are being violated. Then, as an act of surrender, offer that list to God. Number 5, turn blame into prayer. When we feel someone has wronged us, we can tell God about it. Rather than blaming others, we can begin praying for them. Number 6, repent of the entitlement attitude. Blamers typically have an attitude of entitlement they're unaware of. It's his fault I didn't get that job. I'm not married because all guys are scum. Everyone has had it easier than I have. Blame of God must be confessed as well. We must admit that God owes us nothing. Number 7, find the good in the situation. God says that He is ultimately in charge and will use everything for our good if we trust and love Him. You didn't get that job you wanted? Perhaps you can thank God that He protected you from a job that was not right for you. When we turn misfortune into an opportunity to give thanks, we rob our enemy Satan of a weapon he wants to use against us. Taking personal responsibility for our lives and refusing to blame others for our problems is a mark of maturity. Blaming others for our problems only keeps us mired in immaturity. We also forfeit opportunities to learn from our mistakes, develop perseverance, and work in harmony with God to produce the character of Jesus in our lives. That answers the question, how can I learn to stop blaming others for my problems?